Thank you for joining us for our monthly webinar series from Local Market Monitor, where we take a closer look at this month's National Economic Outlook, which was written by Local Market Monitor's president, Ingo Windsor. For those of you that don't know Ingo, he's been analyzing real estate markets for over 30 years and is a graduate of MIT and Boston University. He's not your typical economist and has a knack for taking complex data, extracting what is important, and providing unique insights and tangible guidance on real estate markets. So with that, I bring you Ingo and his insights on the economy.
Thanks very much, Carolyn. Every month we look at new data so we can get a better understanding of where the economy is headed and what that means for real estate markets. In normal times, this is difficult enough, but the pandemic has scrambled the data we usually rely on and probably has altered how the economy functions. For example, the most straightforward way to measure the growth of jobs, which is the driving force behind real estate, is to compare the number today with how many there were a year ago. That's fine when growth is 1 or 2%, but what does it mean when the economy loses 20 million jobs in the space of 2 months? Does that put us in a downward spiral, or is the economy just on hold for a while? And when those jobs begin to return, does that mean the economy is growing at a tremendous rate, or just that we're still starting to climb out of a hole? The approach we've taken so far is to compare the number of jobs each month with how many there were right before the pandemic. Here's what that looks like. These are newly revised numbers that are more accurate than the monthly surveys made throughout the year by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can see a steady rate of recovery over the last year, but with the pandemic 2 years old, we're now more interested in how the economy is changing rather than how big a hole it's still in, which, by the way, is about 3 million jobs. Although these revised numbers are more accurate, they still only measure payroll jobs. That's how the system was set up. So that's all we see. But what about work done by people who aren't on a payroll? Maybe those 3 million people are actually working, but we just don't know how to count them. At a difficult time like this, the economy may be changing very rapidly, but we just can't measure the change. I'm pretty sure the economy has changed because some big sectors of the economy haven't added jobs at all in the past year. For example, healthcare. This looks like a structural change to me, not just a temporary one. The same is true in government. I can think of a number of reasons why these jobs remain missing, but the main point is that they're not coming back soon. And since healthcare and government together provide almost a third of all jobs in the economy, that means the economy just isn't holding its breath, but is adapting to new conditions. Other sectors like finance have indeed recovered all the jobs they lost. In retail as well. Jobs in construction have almost recovered, as have jobs in manufacturing. But the restaurant sector seems permanently altered, even though jobs keep trickling back. Even the large business services sector, the only major sector with more jobs now than before the pandemic, isn't just back to normal growth. One of its components, computer systems design, is growing at a faster rate than ever. Are companies automating their operations even more? Another component, temporary jobs, has surged in recent months. Are more people tired of full-time jobs? Maybe the 3 million job hole we're in is permanent. Maybe the economy can make do with fewer jobs. That's an ominous development for real estate. Or maybe the economy is just cruising along as always. The big problem is that we just don't know. Meanwhile, here's a look at the broadest measure of the economy, gross domestic product. Rather than show the change of each quarter from the previous one, which is the standard comparison, but meaningless at such a time, we're showing the change from the last quarter before the pandemic. See, in this way, the economy now seems back on track, although a lot of the growth in the fourth quarter is due to a buildup of inventories. Again, is this normal economic behavior, or is it just more Amazon warehouses? More of the same or something different? That's it. In this time of uncertainty, let me plug our investors metro analysis, which shows how best to invest in this environment, how much risk you face in a local market, and the best rent range for investment in each local zip code. Available for 200 markets, it's as easy to use as 1, 2, 3. Thanks very much for following along. This is our National Economic Outlook. I'm Inga Windsor.